Hey everybody, this is Larry with Hobby Progress, and today we are taking you into the tasting room. So I've got a selection of 6 beers from the Boulevard Brewing Company Smokestack Series, which is their special edition series, or their higher quality, higher end beers. The 6 beers that we're going to be taking today are the Bourbon Barrel Quad, the Calling Double IPA, the Dark Truth Imperial Stout, the Whiskey Barrel Stout, the Rye on Rye. That's a limited release, so if you're watching this video a little bit after release, it may not still be available. And the Imperial Stout Tequila Cask Aged. So, I'm going to take you a quick run through. I'm not going to get all detailed. I'm not going to try to use any jargon that's going to want to throw you off or anything like that. So this is just beer tasting for the everyman. So we're going to give you a start with the Bourbon Barrel Quad. It's a barrel aged. Let's give you the stats off the bottle here. So we're at 11.2% ABV. So 11.2% alcohol by volume and 26 IBU. So we're going to go ahead and pour this. For those of you snobs out there that are looking at this going, he's not even pouring that into the right glass. Damn straight I'm not, because I don't have the right glasses at the moment. So with this Bourbon Barrel Quad, it pours really good. Got a crazy good color. I hope you can see it a little bit on the camera. It's a very dark amber color. Smells good. It's got, you can smell the barrel age, so it's got kind of a sweet smell to it. It's definitely a quad. It's got quite the punch. Not bad though. It's not got a lot of hops. The IBU is actually, I mean, for the 26, that's about what it tastes like. It's not got a real harsh aftertaste. It's actually pretty smooth for a quad. Normally with the quads, you expect like a real good punch towards the end, and it just doesn't have that. No, I would definitely recommend that one. I think you could have a couple of these without getting yourself into a lot of trouble. It's not going to dry your mouth out like a lot of high IPUs will. Like some of the quads will dry you out really bad. This doesn't have that dry problem. So I will log this one down as a probably pre-dinner or after-dinner kind of beer. You're not going to want to drink it with anything super heavy because it still does have some weight to it. But I wouldn't probably drink it with a meal because I think its flavor would overpower most meals. All right, so we're going to knock that one off to the side, and we're going to move on to the next one. So now we're into the Calling Double IPA. So let's give you some stats off the bottle here. Doubles, you're going to have a much higher IBU on these. It's probably going to be dry, I'm guessing. 8.5 alcohol by volume, so this is going to be more of a session. 75 IBUs. So from the 25 or 26 that we had on the quad, the 26, now we're up to 75. So this one's going to have a lot more of that hoppy, bitter punch to it. All right. So if you can see on there, it's got a lot more of the yellow fizzy. So it's got that IPA look to it. Just from the smell, it's all hop. That's all you can smell. It's just straight up hops, but it smells clean. It doesn't smell beery. It just smells like a crisp, clean hop smell. Let's see how it tastes. Yeah, very dry. Very dry, but definitely has that 75 IBUs to it. Again, wouldn't probably drink it with a meal, but definitely could. I would want something strong to go with it. A good steak, barbecue. Barbecue actually would be my recommendation with this one. But I would limit your intake on this one. I would probably say, because I think this one sells in a 4-pack, most of the Smokestack series do, I'd probably limit yourself to that 4-pack. With 8.5 alcohol by volume, it's not terrible, but that 4-pack's probably going to be all you're going to want to do. Otherwise, your mouth is just going to be like you ate a cotton ball. It's going to be pretty bad. But very crisp, very good hop flavor. Yeah, that's a fantastic beer. I've had the Calling before. In previous editions, it's as good as it ever was and is by far my favorite IPA that Boulevard makes at the moment. All right, set that beer off to the side for a little bit. We're going to move on down the line. Keep it going. This is the Boulevard Dark Truth Imperial Stout. Now, this one I've never had. The Dark Truth will be new for all of us. So the Dark Truth is 9.7 alcohol by volume with a 60 IBU. 60, that's actually pretty decent for an Imperial Stout. Okay, this is dark. Again, I'm sorry the camera is not good, but yeah, that's a dark black beer, and the head on it is pretty brown in its own right, and it looks pretty thick. So let's see here how it smells. You've actually got tones of chocolate right in the smell, but you can tell it's going to have a punch to it just from that, although it's going to finish clean. I bet you money it's going to finish clean. I was not wrong. It goes smooth. It does have tones of chocolate, which is odd. Like, it's not what I expected out of it. Yeah, it's got like a chocolate and almost a coffee, maybe aftertaste. You know, like you take a shot of espresso and you get that bitter taste on the back of your tongue after you take a good shot of espresso. That's what the coffee flavor is giving me, but chocolate up front by far. But yeah, it's smooth. It's not super heavy. That IBU does not, you don't feel it so much. That's a smooth beer. As far as recommendations go on this one, I have to label it down as a dessert beer only. I wouldn't drink it before a meal. I definitely wouldn't drink it with food. I just don't think that's the flavors I would want. This with the coffee notes and the chocolate notes, definitely throwing that and an after meal, sitting around hanging out kind of beer. It wouldn't taste right with most food. Although if you had a decent cake, like maybe even like a cheesecake, although I don't recommend dairy and beer very often, that would probably go very well. We're going to line these up here for you. So that's the first one we tried. Second one with a Calling. And Dark Truth. Now we are going to move down the line to the Whiskey Barrel Stout. This is a pretty generic Boulevard. This is one of their classics. So if you've been out, you've probably seen this around Kansas City. It is 11.8 alcohol by volume. So this one is got a little bit of a punch. 32 IBU. This is more what I expect out of a stout from Boulevard, IBU wise. It's going to be a lot more mellow, but it's going to have that whiskey barrel punch with that 11% alcohol by volume. So let's give this one an open. Again, a very dark color. It gives a nice, solid brown head. Gets you a lot of good flavor off of that. So, all you can smell is whiskey barrel. It's just fantastic. It smells amazing. It smells like you just walked into a like a leather shop that's wood floors and and an open bottle of whiskey. It's amazing. I'd love the smell of this one. If I could have a air freshener that smelled like this, I would. Man, it doesn't get much better than that. As far as stouts go, this is everything I want in a stout. It's smooth. It's creamy. It doesn't give you a real big punch, but the longer you let it sit, the more of that whiskey barrel alcohol flavor that you get. It's great. Again, it comes in a 4-pack. I definitely recommend that you do not exceed the 4-pack. Just because you're going to lose all your flavor. Because at that 11% alcohol, it's just a lot. Meal recommendations, definitely do not drink this with food. It will ruin your meal. Most things, this will overpower your food. And that's rough. So if you're going to sit down and have a dessert or something like that, this might work. But this is really a beer for beer's sake. If you're going to sit down and have some beers, I like this one. But probably not a good deal to sit down and have with meals. But man, is that just that is just a good beer. That is one of my favorites from Boulevard. As far as the Smokestack Series goes, you just can't ask for better than that. All right, so we're gonna move on down the line one more time, or 2 more times. This is the Boulevard Rye on Rye. Now this is a limited edition. If you don't get this when it first comes out, good luck getting it. It is a very popular one here in Kansas City, and you can't always find it. Boulevard does very good on their limited editions. Often you can find them within the first several months of them coming out. But if you don't live in the Kansas City area and you do wait, you won't find it. I've had this beer. It's been several months ago. I had it on tap, and I didn't have it out of a bottle. So we'll see how it goes on that. But this Rye on Rye comes in at 12.9% alcohol by volume. So if you'll recall, that Imperial Stout that I said had a very good kick to it was at 11.8%. So we're another 1% over that. 1.1% if you want to be precise on the math. So this Rye on Rye is got a kick. And it's only got 16 IBU, 1.6. So 16 is not high. So this is going to fit into a stout category almost. It should be smooth. It should have some creamy notes. But it doesn't have that stout color. If you'll notice, this looks like a strong red ale, color-wise. And the head on it is almost white. It's got a little bit of a cream color. Honestly, a red cream soda. If you've ever poured like a good red cream soda, that's pretty much what this looks like. That's not what this is going to taste like. This is not red cream soda. So, you smell it. Oh, it's very mild. It's hard to pick up some of the notes. I would almost equate that to like a really light beer and fresh baked bread. You get a lot of bread notes in this. Like it feels very very much like that. So let me cleanse out here real quick. No, I was not wrong. It's extraordinarily smooth. Extraordinarily smooth. You actually get a cream flavor when it comes across, and the bread notes come through. So you really are feeling like warm, fresh baked bread. Wow. Okay, you can tell I've drank 5 beers already. It just goes across the tongue so good. You don't taste, for the high alcohol content that this has, you just don't taste that. It doesn't come across as oily or harsh in any way. It's really, that is a fantastic beer. If this was an everyday beer, it would be a must-have at any party, period. Oh. As far as recommendations on this one, you're going to want to take it easy. It goes down so smooth. That IBU, with that IBU, that alcohol content will sneak up on you. Oh my goodness. So far, I know I had nothing but good things to say about the barrel-aged stout, but this rye on rye, that's unbeatable. That is my favorite beer of the night by a long shot. That is just a fantastic beer. So we're going to take you down to the last one, which I'm almost sad I didn't save that one for the last. I really wish I had saved the best for the last for you guys. But who knows? This one might take the cake. This is a tequila cask-aged Imperial Stout. There I go, showing how much I've had to drink tonight. Imperial Stout. So, tequila cask. I've never had a tequila cask aged beer before. I like tequila. But I like tequila because it has a crisp, clean flavor and goes down smooth. So let's see if the beer can match up to that. So 12.1 alcohol by volume. So it's still got a substantial punch. And 23 IBUs. So at 23 IBUs, it ought to actually go down relatively smooth. Why did I not expect it to be dark? Maybe because it's a tequila barrel. I don't know. I just didn't expect it to be dark. So it has a very dark color. The head that came off of it is a dark brown and very thick. It's a much heavier beer on pour than I expected, by all means. It definitely has a sweetness, and you can smell the barrel aged. So it has that woody barrel aged smell to it. It smells like it's going to be smooth, but it smells like it's going to be very heavy. So let's give it a shot. Mm. Okay, so first impressions are not good. I'm not going to lie. It was very sweet at the beginning and bitter at the end. And the whole flavor came off wrong. You can definitely, in the finish, taste barrel age. And it goes down smooth. Like, there's no harshness to it at all. Like, I don't know what it is about it that I don't like. I think it's maybe the fact that it starts so sweet and then turns so bitter that it turns me off to it. But we're going to give it another shot. So, yeah. So, maybe it's the alcohol taste that makes it so sweet and the tequila. And then you get the wood aged. I don't know. Yeah, it smells so sweet. It's got a very sugary, not chocolate. It's not dark like that. It's very light. It's just got a very strong sugar smell, like a sugar coated candy, sweet. Okay, it's better on the second go round. Still very sweet at the beginning. It still has bitter endings, and that's a turnoff to me. That does not help it at all. I have to say I don't like this beer. It's one, like, if you poured it at a bar and you went ahead and got the full pour without getting a sampler first, I'd finish it. It's not that bad. But to me, it's definitely not a winner. It's one that I would not order, and it is one I will not buy again. So, of the 6, the Tequila Cask Imperial Stout rates lowest on my scale. So, if you have to rate it, I'd say that's maybe because of the sweet. It's maybe an after dinner kind of thing. But honestly, with their Smokestack series, Boulevard really has laid out something that is meant for a beer for beer's sake kind of thing. If you're sitting down to have one of these beers, you really need to sit and enjoy the beer. Enjoy the experience that it has to offer. If you're going to pair it with things, just use common sense. Don't pick a food that your beer is going to overpower. So if you're going with something like The Calling is a good burger and fries kind of beer. You know, it feels like a very strong barroom beer. Like, it's very good for that. If you're going for something of a dessert beer, after dinner, sitting around, and you want a little something, I would go, honestly, with the whiskey barrel stout, or maybe even the quad. Simply for the chocolate tones that they've got, the espresso tones that the whiskey barrel stout can give you. If you're just going for a session drink, something you can sit down, enjoy, have a good time, the Rye on Rye. Hands down, best beer I had tonight. It is a very, very good beer. But if you're going for something else like that, the Dark Truth was also another good one. Although it had a lot of good chocolate notes as well, so it would also be a very good dessert. If you like tequila, and you like barrel-aged beers, definitely give the tequila stout a chance. Just because I didn't like it does not mean that you won't like it. So, if you like my recommendations, give them all a try. I highly recommend all of Boulevard's Smokestack Series. If you liked my recommendations as well, please like and subscribe to Hobby Progress. If you would like our other videos, we do a little bit of wargaming, a little bit of everything. If it's a hobby, I do it. If you like these beer tasting videos, please let me know. If you have a beer suggestion yourself, please send it to me at hobbyprogress@gmail.com, and I will try to make a video of it. Also, with the tasting room, hopefully we will get us some whiskey and bourbon tasting. And thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching The Tasting Room, brought to you by Hobby Progress. If you like this video, please like and subscribe below. If you have any beer suggestions or anything else you'd like to see, please send us an email at hobbyprogress@gmail.com. Again, that is hobbyprogress@gmail.com.